Hi friends, I'm Pamela Poole and it's an amazing day in my studio because I finally got in here. You know how that feels, right? You plan and you plan and you try to eliminate distractions, simplify your life, and still it's hard to get to the things that you really want to do, like your hobbies. For me, that would be in this studio or finishing writing my next novelette. I had a project for a while that I've been wanting to try, and I'm excited because I did finish it. I'm going to share the demo with you, but I want to talk to you just a minute to explain the story behind it. I'm going to show you the back side of this. I had this cute little wicker bag, and it started to look faded to me, and I was not as excited about carrying it. And so I got another one that's more like a little clutch bag. It's got a sunflower on it, of course. And I decided I was going to experiment with this one. I couldn't find another one in the thrift store to mess up in case this didn't work. So I worked with the one I had. As you'll see in some of the pictures in the demo, it opens up like this. I left the inside the way it is, no changes there. It was great. And the thing that I wanted to change was to put some blues like the top I'm wearing, denims, anything from like a deep cobalt type blue, navy blue, to the denim blues, and then into my favorite color, turquoise, or the teals or aquas, that color family. Anything in blues I think is just really relaxing, and it reminds me of my home here at the coast, and so that's what I wanted to do. I wear a lot of those colors, and I ended up using a stencil, just an inexpensive stencil that I found locally. Remember that I live near the coast, and so it's easy to find things like palm leaves, which is in the background of this. And I meant to look up the name of this big leaf here. We have some of these in my yard and palms, but I forgot the name of that leaf. But this is what I ended up with my stencils. I'm happy with it, but I learned some things that would make me do this differently the next time. If I find another one of these little bags, maybe the next time I'll find one in a thrift shop and experiment. And this is my year to play. So if I find out some new things, I will be sure and update you on that. So what I used was what I had. I didn't go purchase anything different. I happened to have my professional acrylics, which is just what I would do one of my paintings like this. Probably some of the same colors that were in this painting behind me. And maybe this little one over here to the side of me. And then I used an inspiration piece, which was from my bedspread, actually, in my master bedroom. It has palm leaves in like watercolor blurred images, and then one of these leaves as well on a throw pillow that's on it. That was my inspiration piece, and I went with that to create this. This is going to go with a lot of outfits. And then I had some new acrylic metallic paint, which I haven't tried yet. So that's going to be maybe my next demo. We'll see if we can do something with those acrylic metallic paints. I don't really know what looks very well in metallics because I'm so used to doing landscapes. That's really one of my big things is nature and landscapes. So we'll see. Anyway, I did use some of that for shimmer on this bag. So this bag changes a little bit as we move it in the light. But in the meantime, I had gotten an order that had 4 pairs of wicker earrings in them. This is new for me. I've never worn wicker earrings. So I picked out the shapes that I really liked to wear with things. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to see if the acrylic paint is going to stick to my wicker bag before I actually start painting the bag. I can mess up the earrings, but not the bag. So I did a little ombre type earring shape. And I think that these are going to look good with a lot of things that I wear. Let's see if I can get this one on. So what do you think? Have I got something going on here now? Was this a success? Well, we'll see. Let's go on to the video and see what the demo shows. I'm going to practice this method on some wicker earrings that I have. And I'm going to be sure that I keep my inspiration piece in mind because I'd like to wear these earrings with the purse when we finish the purse. So I am using some colors I have over here, different colors of blues. This one's a turquoise, as you can see. That is I think a phthalo with some turquoise, and then this is ultramarine. And then I've also put a little clear painting medium here in case I need it for flow. I haven't done this, remember? I'm not really sure how this is going to turn out. Let's try it and see what happens. I want to mix these colors up a little bit. And I want to get the consistency spreadable and yet gooey enough to stick to my earrings. All right, I think I'd like to try a little of this too. All right, let's see what we have. That's called a cobalt turquoise light. And I am just using the same, I'm using what I have. These are the same acrylics that I would paint a professional painting with. All right, I'm going to start with this color in the top. And I don't want to water it down very much, so I'm going to use some clear painting medium. Let's see if that helps the spread. Ah, yeah. Now, if I had been doing these and didn't care about matching my purse, I would have just probably gessoed over these so that I would know for sure what color this was going to turn out to be. But you see, then it might not match because if I put this over white gesso, then probably I'm going to have a different color item. The paint against white is different than the paint when you put it on here. So I'm going to be mixing this up, as you can tell from the inspiration piece picture that is in the beginning. And let's just see what we have here. There's a different blue. Now, when I finish with this, I plan to make it have a little bit of sparkle on it, which I probably won't do with the bag. So I have a little sparkle paint that I have from like an Art Deco or Deco Art, whatever it's called. Call it Enchanted, and it's got sparkle in it, and we'll see how that turns out. Who knows, I might even totally change my mind. But if you are thinking of a supply list and you want to get some things down to do exactly what I'm doing instead of just using what you have, there's an idea for you. And obviously this is going to get all over my hands, so I've got gloves on so that I can handle these pieces. And I am just putting these colors down kind of randomly, and yet I do have a plan. Let's get some of this mixed in. And after these dry, we'll do the other side as well. All right, I'll keep working on this, and we'll flip them over and do the other side. To save time, I have gone ahead and practiced what the colors that I'm going to use are going to look like on my bag because I'm just using what I have. I'm using regular professional acrylic paints that I would do a painting with on canvas, and I'm using them in this little project so that I don't buy a bunch of other colors that I don't need. So I painted this from my inspiration piece, and now I'm going to paint the back. This is what the front looked like before. Now you can see the back, and I have some painting medium so that I won't try to thin my paint too much with just water, because then that would actually take some of the color and the strength and the character of the paint away. I'm going to need a little more of that color. I'm going to try to remember my color pattern from the other side, although I could probably switch it around and do something different on the back. Not sure that it matters at all. There's some of it coming down. I'll need a little in this corner to sort of balance things out. And let's see what else I had there. This color is pretty important in the overall scheme of the bag. So I need to make sure I've got my ultramarine blue spread on here. And I'm going to go ahead and finish this one to be like that. Flip this one over and do it the same way. So now we have these ombre sort of design earrings. They were just an inexpensive pair of Wicker earrings that came in a bunch of other things. And so they were brand new. I didn't have to clean them. And I just started practicing painting on Wicker with this paint. Now, this tells me a little bit about what color properties I'm going to be working with as I go to this bag. And it's not going to be the same as if I was working on a piece of white fabric or gessoed canvas. So I'm going to need to take these tricks I've just learned and see what I can do with stencils. Hang on in there with me. I've taped a stencil onto the straw bag. I am using one of these poof type brushes, if you will, that you put stencil paint on with. And this is going to be a challenge, not only because I don't often use stencils, but also remember the surface I'm working with here. So I have added some clear painting medium. Once I get this pattern onto the bag, I can go back with a brush and make this more even. But at this point, I'm just focusing on getting this pattern in the back. And I'm using the lighter color in the back because remember, my inspiration piece has several different colors and the lighter color will fade into the background. I'm not really sure what's going to happen after I have taken off the stencil for the palm branches. As you can see, they were much more in a cluster than what happened on the Wicker pattern. And so I'm probably going to go back and do some more individual work in there. But for now, with an abstract background, that would be okay with me. I'm going to switch to this larger plant that will be in the front and see what happens with that. As you can see, it's going to cover up some of the back. The plants to the front are going to be darker than the ones in the back. So I'm going to begin by putting in some of the darker color here. And I'm going to use this little sponge collection that I have, different sizes to get in here. And then we'll see if I come out with what I'm looking at as a 3D effect for the plant in the front, the leaf in the front, to cover the palm branch in the back. I'm much more pleased with the way this larger leaf plant has turned out. I'm going to go in with a brush and refine a few of these areas, and then we'll see where we're going to put the next plant, which I think at this point is going to be more of a palm leaf, maybe put down along this, maybe the side or something coming this way. I need to think that through. I'm going in with some clear painting medium and some of these different colors I'm using to try to clean up a little bit, get down into these woven areas where it's like a depth where the paint can't reach unless you go in with a brush. And I'm going to see if I can define these separations in the foliage on this, in this leaf pattern. So I like the way this is turning out, but I am a little afraid that if I put this stencil back in here somewhere, I'm going to end up with the confusion that I have right here, which is fine for that one because it's in the distance. But I really want a little bit more definition here up close, coming around this way. I have mixed up some of my ultramarine blue with indigo for a very dark blue over here to the side. I've mixed some clear painting medium with it, hopefully to give it flow. And I've switched to this small, thin brush. This is, we'll see what happens. I'm not sure. I'm going to try a little spot right here. Okay, I think this can work. And I am going to mimic what I see in this down here. I'm going to start with this dark color in the back, but then I'm going to need to bring it lighter as I come to the front. All right. For now, I'm just going to color in what I'm looking for. It will come behind that section. I think I'm going to go ahead and use this leaf, and I can't think of the name of it. It has a name. We actually grow some in our yard. I think I'm going to leave that in the front and put this palm back behind it, which means I'm going to have to knock the color back a little bit with some other mixes here. And hopefully there are going to be so many blues and greens in this that I'll be able to carry this bag with many things. And now things are going to get much more interesting. I have a couple of metallic paints I'm going to use, some gold and silver, and I'm just going to add some little accents on different places. Let's see, this probably needs to be defined. Let's try to remember here what this whole piece looked like, similar to this. So I will want to define this area with just a little something that will catch light. I'm not even sure that it will look the same whenever I turn the bag. And I'm going to use a blend of gold and silver because those are the colors that I wear the most. And I'm going to go around and define some of these leaves, and let's see what happens.